Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl V Coles. Welcome back to back. Thanks for coming back, and if you're subscribed, hi, and if you're new, hi. Thank you for joining my family today. So today we're actually going to get into the new AMREZY eyeshadow palettes, which I'm really excited about because look at what I was able to create. If you're interested in how I was able to get this look, definitely stay tuned. Where is my intro? Let's go. Just finished a 20-minute sheet mask. For any out there that want to know what I used the e.l.f. hydrating water sheet mask. I actually really like it. It's pretty moisturizing, so we're gonna go ahead and take that off. Hydrated. I like to do mine for 20-25 minutes. I don't really exceed that. And then I'm gonna go ahead today and I'm gonna moisturize with the Neutrogena Hydro Gel Base Cream. Oh yeah, baby, nice and moisturized. Oh, I went ahead and did my brows. They're done. I will link the tutorial above for you guys. I also went ahead and put some concealer on my lids. I literally use the same concealer every tutorial. It's the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Toffee. We're gonna go ahead and use the AMREZY palette. It's about damn time. I am so excited to use this palette today. I purchased it from Sephora when it first came out, but I've been so busy that I have not been able to play around with it on this channel yet. I haven't played around with it at all, to be honest. I just haven't dug in yet and created a look, but I figured why not, first impression, use it on my channel. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you, well, I'm lying. This is what the box looks like when you purchase it, and then this is what the actual palette looks like. It's really beautiful. It's like glitter, right? And then you can, it's textured, so you can kind of feel it. And then it says her name, AMREZY. And then when you open it, it's so beautiful. This is just like the Jackie Aina palette, where like when you see it in person, it's really beautiful, right? And then it comes with your traditional brush. They also added 2 extra shades. So it has 16 shades versus the traditional 14. The palette's also more expensive than the other palettes. The other palettes, I believe Jackie Aina's was like maybe $44 to $45. This one was $49 after tax, about $53. So you're gonna have to decide if you can afford to purchase it for that price point. But I feel like it just might be worth it. I haven't played around with it yet, so we're gonna play around with it today. I'll tell you guys right now, my favorite color is Leo, and that is the color I'll be using on my lid. This was also the reason why I wanted to buy the palette. This blue, let me swatch it for you guys. It's blue. This blue is gonna change lives. This blue is gonna save lives. So this, don't judge me, I'm not the best at swatching. This is what the swatch looks like. Ugh, that blue is everything to me. I love it so much. Blue happens to kind of be one of my favorite colors. So when I saw the blue, I was like, oh my God, I need you. Okay, so let's get started. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I cannot wait to see what I create. I have an idea of what I want to create, but I'm just gonna kind of go with the flow of things. I did put some tape down. You guys know I like my tape. I like my tape. I'm gonna go in with the color Sema, and that is this color right here. Follow my channel. My channel is very new, but if you followed it, then you know I buy a lot of Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, and I don't know, I just kind of feel like the quality is always there, so it is what it is. I didn't swatch it. So let's just go ahead and pat this color in. I'm gonna like pat it in like right above like my crease line, right above here. I don't have a lot of eye space, so I kind of just move everything up a little bit. Like a facelift, I shift everything up, okay? Because I want you to see the colors on my eyes. So I give my eyes a facelift. That's what I like to call it. And I'm just patting the color Sema in. This is really nice. I'm barely even picking up any product out of the pan, and I'm getting that pigment. So that's nice. You know, Anastasia Beverly Hills, stay true to what they normally do. Wow, this is nice, y'all. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing to the other eye. Just pat that color in there. So when did this release come out? And this release came out in 2020, but towards the end of 2019, we had the Jackie Aina palette drop, and then we had the Carly Bybel palette that dropped. And I did a review for the Carly Bybel palette where she, you know, when she released her palette, she said that, you know, her shades were for everyone, all skin tones can use it. And then I ended up doing a review and I was like, no, these shades are not for everyone. All skin tones cannot use it. And she had a brown in there, it was like this ashy brown. It just really wasn't cute. So I'm saying that to say, going into this palette, the first color I'm using is like this raspberry pink, and look at how good it looks on my skin tone. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, normally when you go into a palette and you think, oh, I'm gonna start off with a brown shade because I already know that's gonna work on me. I didn't do that with this palette. I went right in for a color just to see how that would pay off, how that would look on me, and it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. So it shows, I kind of feel like it shows you the mind state when going into the palette. Like, I'm gonna use colors that represent me, but I'm also gonna use colors that any and everyone can use. And that to me is where Carly dropped the ball. But when she was doing her reviews, her main thing to say was, oh, all skin tones can use it. No, Carly, all skin tones cannot use it. Not that her palette wasn't beautiful, her palette was gorgeous. The, you know, the color quality was amazing, just not on women of darker skin tones. This palette I'm going to love. And I love that she released colors like this at the beginning of the season, because this palette is going to be a great summer palette also. Like, I know it's not like your bright colors, but the colors in it are good enough where you can use it going into the summer. You know what I mean? Like, you're really going to use and abuse this palette. So, and on both eyes, all I really did was just pat the color in. One thing I like to do is when I'm introducing colors into my eyes, I normally like to gently pat them in and then decide, you know, where I want to start the blending and where I don't want to start the blending. For me, I kind of feel like it gives me control. So I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of blend this color out a little bit just to fuse the edges so it looks blended. I'm going to do that to both eyes. We're going to go in with the color 1988. I'm going to take this small crease brush by e.l.f. and I'm just going to go right into here just to kind of darken that a little bit. I'm just going to take a little bit of it because these colors are very pigmented. And I'm just going to pat that in there. And being that this brush is so little, it's giving me that control, so. And then I'm gonna take a clean blending brush and I'm just gonna go over it with my blending brush now. And it's clean, it has no product on it. We're just gonna blend that out now. And I'm bringing it in as I blend it out. You wanna just take your time with the blending process and just blend it out. Blend it until you feel comfortable with the way it looks. That's what I like to do. I like to blend it until I feel comfortable with how blended it is. Go ahead now and we're going to cut the crease. I use the same LA Girl concealer. I'm gonna use a brush this small actually to cut the crease. I want it to be very, very precise as I can be. So I want to use Leo as my lid color, so I'm hoping it looks right. Let's go ahead and cut this crease. I'm just putting some concealer on the back of my hand. I like to do that. And then I'm gonna just hold my mirror up and we're gonna start cutting. I like to dab right here. I mean, some people tell you about the trick of looking up, which you can do, you see, and then you just kind of follow that as your outline. I didn't look all the way up because I didn't really push the product up that high and I don't really want to lose everything, so. And then I'm just gonna pat it. Padding is a great way to cut your crease. It's almost like a nice little hack when it comes to cutting your crease. I'll go in now with the color Leo, and that's this color here. I'm gonna take a small little brush like this, and we're gonna go ahead and start to pat the color in. Ooh, do you see that? Pigmented. Mint. Thank you. I love this. And just take your time to pat it in. I knew I wanted this to be my lid color. It's so beautiful. Once I get to where the colors meet, I'm doing very short pats, only because I want this to be as neat as possible. What I do is I pat it like this into the brush, and then I just dip the very tip of it into it also, like that. So then when I get up to that rim area, I have color there. You know what I mean? Just a little tip in case anyone struggles with doing this step. It's a lot of blue. We're gonna go in next with the shade You Go. This outer area where I didn't put any color, we're just gonna start to work it into the blue, just to create some dimension. Now, this palette does come with a black, and you could use black for this step also, but I kind of feel like the black is so intense, I just didn't want to take a chance. So we're gonna go with the dark brown. So that's my thinking behind dark brown. Because black tends to be, when you want to create dimension, like the easiest color to use to create dimension, but things can also get out of hand very quickly. With brown, you can kind of build it up and it starts to look like you use a black. This is really freaking cute. Okay, what we're gonna do now is we're going to take a very small smudge brush, and we're just gonna go into the black, but we're gonna be very careful. We're now gonna go into the color BK, and just like this bottom lash area like that, we're just gonna smudge it in. We're just gonna push it in. Some liner. I'm gonna line my eye using the NYX matte liquid eyeliner. Go ahead and add an inner tear duct color, the color Resi. We're gonna go ahead and remove our tape now. Clean. Applying some mascara. I'm using the Lancome Grandiose mascara. And then I'm gonna go in with my lash curler. I like to count to 10. When I was like younger, I was afraid of lash curlers, but they make a huge difference, trust me. I'm gonna go in with the Hangover RX primer. So for foundation today, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. I'm the shade 490W. I'm gonna use a NYX brush the NYX foundation brush to blend this all out, but I'm just gonna mist my brush a little bit. And you're gonna see I try really hard not to put a lot of product under my eyes, simply because I'm gonna put concealer there. I used this foundation in my foundation hunt, one of the foundation hunts I did, and I blended it out with a beauty blender, and to me that was like the biggest mistake ever. So if you didn't get to watch that foundation hunt, I will link it above for you, but if you don't feel like going to watch it, definitely use a brush to blend this foundation out. The beauty blender, I don't know, I didn't like the way it was with the beauty. 16-hour camo concealer. Contour. I'm going to use this e.l.f. cream contour stick in the color Deep. And for the concealer that I used, I got the color Deep Cinnamon. I like to use a bigger brush to blend out my cream contours. I just like the way it buffs the product out a lot better. And then I'm going to use my Beauty Blender to go ahead and blend that out. And I do it in an upward motion so it kind of blends a little bit into the cream contour. So it all becomes one basically. So I'm gonna go ahead and brighten under my eye a little bit more. I like to do this because I do have a bit of a little scar under my eye. It's a personal preference. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. I just like to do it. I feel like I need it. Out a new concealer for the first time. So this is the Candid Revlon Concealer. I got the shade 060 Deep. I feel like this was the darkest shade there. So if you're darker than me, I don't think they have a shade for you. Because I feel like I'm just gonna make it with this shade. This shade's a little light, but I was like, whatever, let me try it. Yeah, this is a little light for me. So, ooh, has a little bit of smell. I don't know, guys. Don't know. And I'm just keeping it under my eye. I'm not like dragging it down. I'm keeping it very close to just under my eye because I really just want like this little area right here just to kind of be a little brighter. I don't want to keep piling on the same color concealer to cover that little dark little spot, but I found that when I put a concealer that's a smidge brighter, it just helps out a lot with concealing it. So girls gotta do what she gotta do. I'm gonna be using a different powder today to set my face. I'm gonna be using the Juvia's Place I Am Magic setting powder, and this is the color Gobi. I purchased it a while ago. I do all my makeup. I buy all my makeup a while ago. I just never. I like to stick to just what I know works, and when it's time for me to use something different, I'm like, I get so scared because I don't know. When you know what works for you, can't get this open nice. When you know what works for you, you don't even want to like try different things, you know, but you buy it. So I'm like, I already purchased it. I'm going to try it. If I don't like it, I don't like it, but it's here. Not necessarily gonna bake, to be honest. I just like to put it on for like a second. So I'm not gonna like let it sit on my face. I'm not a fan of baking for like a couple of minutes. I just let it sit on my face and then we're just gonna start to push it into the skin. This is my Sephora Pro palette. And where's my brush? We're gonna go into the color Jet Setter. Let's just warm up the face a little bit. Go in with my Maybelline Fit Me powder in the color 360. And I'm just placing it on all of my highlighted areas, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna grab my Fit Me powder in the number 362 and the color name is Truffle. this one right here, and I'm gonna just go over my entire face with it. I'm gonna go back into the AMREZY palette. We gotta put some color under our eye. I'm also gonna first I'm gonna go ahead and pop my inner tear duct color in again because we lost that a little bit, so. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and bronze using my favorite bronze of all times, Mocha Mami by Fenty. Blush, I'm gonna go ahead and use my e.l.f. blush palette in the color Dark. This palette is freaking bomb. This palette is bomb AF, so yeah. We're gonna go ahead with this blush right here. Bit of highlighting with the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Bronzer. I like to use it as a highlighter. It looks like. First gonna line with the Shayla Times Color Pop lip liner. Over that with my Morphe liner in the color Bar. I'm gonna go in with this YSL Lip Satin in the number 220. And you kind of have to let these dry down a little bit just so you can get the texture of it. And then I'm gonna go on top of the YSL Lip Satin with a YSL gloss in the color 4. I'm just gonna pop it right in the middle. All right, my love, so this about wraps it up for me. I think the look came out gorgeous. The palette was amazing. I loved it. If you haven't purchased it, I think this is actually a really good one to have in your collection. It's really, really great. We used about 6 different shadows and I didn't get any crazy fallout. The shades were pigmented. The shades worked for my complexion. And they also give you 2 extra shades, which, why not? So, if you haven't purchased it, get it. I do think it's part of like a limited collection or like I believe it's a limited release, so get it while you got it. When I went to Sephora, all of the Jackie Aina palettes were gone, so I don't know if like their next major release, if they're gonna slowly work these palettes out, these celebrity collaboration palettes, but get it while you can get it.